Captain Ryan Nitz and myself are both a big part of Captains for Clean Water, and we have a mutual relationship with Olokai Sandals. When it comes to the energy meter, I don't know of anyone other than my buddy Brian Latimer that could match Ryan Nitz. I mean, this guy is on major amp mode from 6 o'clock in the morning till the end of the evening. I mean, he is in a hurry to make something happen. To be honest with you, I have not, and I'm sure you're going to take me to someplace I've never been, but I have not been in this part of the state to fish in 16, 17 years. So this is like brand new. What's the game plan?
So we're fishing the Loxahatchee River today, and it's a very unique body of water. It's not very big. We can run this whole river in 10 minutes. So basically what that means is it can be very, very good, or it can be very, very bad. We're gonna search the whole river. If we don't find them, that usually means they're out more towards the beaches and the inlets. You know, it's July, that's prime time. The hotter the better for snook. Yeah. What we're gonna do is we're gonna look for them here in a minute. It looks like we're gonna have the perfect conditions for sun. And when that sun gets a little bit higher, it's gonna illuminate these fish. They're gonna be dark gold in this tannic water.
Yeah.
I like to start with top waters, but when it's really calm back here, that loud clacking, it seems that they don't
shut
like
them down a little bit.
So if that's the case, we'll throw some stuff that's a little bit less invasive and see if we start getting some reactions. Like I said, it's a slack tide. It's gonna be outgoing for the next 6 hours, so we're gonna be fishing and outgoing the entire time.
All right, well, let's roll.
Let's do it. I've known CA, I've seen his stuff for many, many years. I mean, growing up as a kid, it was CA Richardson, it was Tom Rowland, it was Jose Wahebi, and I never even came from really a fishing background, and now all of a sudden here I am fishing with all these guys. Again, CA Richardson was just one of the guys at the top of the list that I respected, so it's an honor to spend a few days on the boat with him and show him my fishery here. You know, we have a special thing here in Jupiter on the Loxahatchee River. We have giant snook, we're known for it, and it's cool just to show, you know, what my hometown has to offer to somebody who I respect so much. Right there, see them all sitting right here? All 40-inch fish. You want to get out in front of them, you don't want to line them. I rod tip up high.
Holy cow. I mean, barely under the surface.
Yep.
So you got to keep that line high. That's a good tip.
Yeah, as soon as that line lays down on them, they'll spook every single time. And again, like this is gonna be the case for most of the next hour. And then at 9:30, there's gonna be a little bit of a wind chop that comes.
And that'll help.
It'll stir this water, it'll get a little bit of a chop on the water. That's when they start to eat.
So when I put this trip together with Ryan, we were actually at a get-together for Olokai, and we talked about maybe setting up a film sesh, if you will, to get an episode done in his home waters. And I asked him, I was like, can we catch these fish on artificials? Because they're all mature, big, seasoned fish. He goes, oh, absolutely. They love smashing top waters, bring big paddle tails, be prepared to bring maybe a couple of big bucktails, but with those 3 types of baits, we should be able to pull it off. And then my head is thinking, well, I've got a lot more snook baits that I know that will work, like nose hook jerk shads, fast moving twitch baits from Mirrolure. I'm thinking, good, we're gonna be able to do this. Not so fast.
Yep, he's under it. He's still under it. Ooh, we're getting there.
Another nanosecond, that was a kaboom.
Just had a swing and a miss, he's on it. Oh, he just missed it. He's back on it. He just missed it again. Come on.
So after about 6.5, 7 hours of knocking every barnacle off every dock piling, after combing every little back corner bay, every shadow line, every rock bar, every little transitory bridge that moves through those residential canals, every one of them.
Y'all catching any snook?
No, not yet.
Oh, you probably suck at fishing.
No, we do.
And as we got closer to the tide change, he goes, see, I'm telling you, we have to make a decision. We can catch some big fish if we go all the way out in the inlet, and it's calm enough to do it in a skiff today. We can go out there, but we're gonna have a very, very small window when that tide changes, when it first gets turned around. That's gonna be our window. For about 45 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour and a half if we're lucky, we'll be able to get them. But if we don't make that decision now, you may have made a trip to Jupiter for nothing.
Okay, so conditions are not ideal. We probably hit the worst tide combo, the worst temperature combo, but we will prevail. Now, typically in Jupiter in July, this is the place to be. And there's a couple boats here, but it's nothing like it should be. I've been fishing this pretty consistently for 20 years, and this is by far the worst year ever. It's been going down every year since I can remember. And I was just talking to CA about it. It's come to a point where we need to start talking about things. I mean, we've already started with Captains for Clean Water. With a lot of the clean water policies we're trying to get pushed through. A lot of the damage here is already done. The seagrass is bare minimal. So, you get rid of the seagrass, you get rid of the pinfish, you get rid of the shrimp, you get rid of the pilchards. And every year now, it's just getting worse and worse. We're starting to see the effects of no bait, no croakers, no sand perch on the beach anymore, the beach restoration, the dredging, everything. There's millions of factors that have, million-dollar homes all over the river. They get rid of the mangroves and they build seawalls, and we're just not seeing small snook. CA's been here. We've seen 300 fish, which to most people, might seem like a lot of fish, but it's not. If you were here 10 years ago in Jupiter, that 300 fish should be 3,000, 10,000. And again, we're just seeing big fish, which sounds great, but we haven't seen a fish under 33 inches, which is very alarming. So this tells me that we might have a fishery for 2 or 3 more years, and when these big breeding fish, slowly die off, we're not gonna have anything to take its place.
Well, and situationally, we're hurt by the fact that there's a major upwelling going on right now, and what that does is it drops water temps by like 10 degrees. So the water temp just a week and a half ago was pushing 90 degrees, and this morning when we turned on the Raymarine, it was 78.9 degrees. It had dropped 10 degrees. You have a 10-degree temperature swing, tends to make things a little bit tricky on catching fish. I mean, that fast. So now we're having to do some extraordinary things to put us in the zone where there might be the largest number of fish that are willing to still feed, where there's a little bit of insulating depth. So that takes the shallow water game in the river completely gone. So now we're gonna sit here in the middle of the inlet with all the big boats and see if we can't figure out how to catch one in more like 10 to 15 feet of water. And hopefully show you guys what Jupiter is known for, and that is monster snook.
So this is what we got. 2-ounce weight, swivel, 50-pound leader, 7/0 circle hook. We're gonna be using live mullet. I always use circle hooks with these big fish. The last thing I need is a dead 40-inch fish with a J hook down its throat. Boom.
Oh yeah, here we go. Natural bait fishing, it's not always my thing. There are several episodes throughout the history of FlatsClass where we have fished for tarpon, or we have fished for permit on a wreck, or on a deeper flat. There have been times when we've used live bait to catch bonefish in the past. But snook generally are fairly, cooperative when you're throwing artificials, whether you're fishing them deep or shallow. In this case, wasn't gonna happen. So there were two methods that we used. One, we were fishing live mullet on basically a fish finder rig. The other was a half a mullet, which basically lies there motionless on the bottom. We tried both methods, and lo and behold, both methods actually worked out there. Oh yeah, big snook. Not as big as they come here, but I'm happy I got a big rod. Put on a show.
Whew. That's what they look like.
A monster. Man, what a valuable resource you guys have here.
They're pretty serious to me, man. It's an awesome fish, and I don't ever take them for granted.
No.
I hope whatever funk they're in here, fixes itself.
Beautiful. I love the way they float high here.
Yeah.
In the river, in the intercoastal.
Well, they're so big, they're not like scared of anything, you know?
And even when you hook them up out here in this deeper inlet, they come right to the top of the surface and they behave like tarpon.
Right.
They really do. Now, I'm used to captains embellishing the truth from time to time. Lord knows I've done it myself. But when he told me that the small fish are like 32, 33 inches and the big fish are like mid 40s, I'm like, well, that tells me right there we're gonna probably catch a bunch of 32s and 33s, which is fine. On my coast, hell, I'd call the paper. All the fish over there, Stewart and Jupiter, they're all monsters. I mean, monster snook. Some of the biggest snook you'll ever catch. And when you're using a size 14 tennis shoe looking mullet, yeah, makes sense. You're gonna catch 40-inch snook. Here we go. I can feel him pick it up.
That might be a real deal one. This is rod holders in a Hell's Bay. It's the best I got.
Well, we're usually not fishing anything deeper than knee deep in this boat.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, there's a good one here. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a whale.
This is a big one.
That's whale.
This is the big one.
That's why you came here. I'm gonna try and put this somewhere out of your way the best I can.
Oh yeah. Stand down. I don't want him underneath the boat. Here we go.
Woo!
That's a toad. Whoa.
Nice. Look at that.
Oh, Ryan. Dude,
That's a stud, Bubba.
that is a toad.
God, dog, look at that one, Bubba.
Man. That I'm gonna have to measure. 40,
40, baby. 40 and fat.
over 40. That is a snook there. Oh man, what a fish. What a fish.
I'm on. Oh, hey, CA, hold on to that fish. Oh, I got another freaking giant. Double giants.
Double giants, huh?
Woo. Maybe 41 on me.
You're used to fighting the big ones. Doesn't sound like you're getting closer.
Here we go. I got her beat. Woo. All right. Oh. So this is what Jupiter is known for right here.
It is.
And we'll never take this for granted. Big 40-inch fish. These are all big breeding females, and we'll get them back in the water quick.
Yeah, let's get on this side.
All right, I'm coming over there.
Damn, that fish weighs 30 pounds. Look at that.
I think you got me beat. How about that?
240s back to back. That's why you come fishing with Ryan Nitz.
Persistence pays off.
That's the way to do Jupiter. Today's tackle talk, it's going to be brief because actually what worked was fairly simply or straightforward. But while we were making the effort to catch them on artificial, there was a lot of skipping that we were doing up underneath docks and trying to make accurate casts under a couple of the lower hanging trees. And a 7-foot medium heavy fast rod is perfect for that. 30 to 40 pound braid. And then what I like to have is about a 4 to 5 foot section of 40 pound leader. After seeing the size of the fish, I cut a foot of that off and tied on a bite tippet of 50 pound leader. But that's basically what I would use to fish. And this is a fairly, tight rod where I could pull some decent fish out. Didn't know how big they were. But let's talk about what worked. Was this rod. This is a 7'6" heavy action rod. Has a lure weight of 1/2 to 3 ounces. This is a size 6 or a 6K reel made by Visser, which is really kind of an overbuilt reel. I'm not saying that you should run out and spend that kind of money, but this is a very overbuilt waterproof reel. It's sealed like a Van Staal. Think of it like that, and think of the price to be like that as well. But it's really about an 8,000 size the way it's set up. And this rod is made on a 40-ton Japanese Toray carbon fiber blank. It's super strong, it's got a gimbaled foot. I had no issues thinking that I wouldn't be able to handle a fish with that. And after that first big snook came to the boat and we were able to launch those larger mullet with it, I think Ryan would agree that this was the right choice. Now the line that we are using is diamond 40-pound braid, and we are using a 50-pound fluorocarbon leader, probably about 3.5 feet of that attached to a swivel. This is a fish finder rig, and a 2-ounce egg sinker above that, just to keep the baits from moving too fast. They were still moving in that tide pretty quick, but it kept them on the bottom because those snook just kind of like, that school just kind of moves around in there on the roll off. And we had to be in the zone for them to get interested. And you saw what happened. Here we go.
There he is.
I'm gonna try to bring him around that other side.
Other side.
There we go.
Ooh. Oh, look, got my hook back from last time.
No doubt. Look at that.
Not as big as the ones at the inlet, but a pretty good one nonetheless.
Good shot of you with that one.
Gosh.
Nice. Great shot. At Captains for Clean Water, when you're looking for passionate personalities to take to Washington, D.C., to take to Tallahassee, Florida, or to have a social media presence where they're unafraid to say what's on their mind and what the problem is, and not worried about the ramifications that could happen by doing so, Ryan's pretty much your man. I mean, he's one of those guys, he loves the environment. He loves Jupiter, he wants to see it do well, and he wants to see change. And one of the reasons I fished with him is because of that. That was probably the biggest draw to Ryan. Not that huge snook reputation that he has, but his personality, his attitude, his swagger when it comes to doing the right thing.